Once upon a time, in a grand kingdom nestled among rolling green hills, lived a handsome prince who longed for one thing above all else: to marry a real princess. Not just any princess, you see, but a truly, genuinely, undeniably real one. He embarked on a grand tour of the world, a quest to find his perfect match. He journeyed from kingdom to kingdom, meeting princesses of every kind. There were princesses with hair as golden as the sun, princesses with eyes as blue as the summer sky, and princesses who could sing like nightingales. He met dozens, perhaps even hundreds of them. And while they were all lovely and charming, there was always something that just didn't feel quite right. He'd return home to his magnificent castle, his heart a little heavier each time, and sigh, "If only I could find a real princess." The king and queen worried for their son, watching him grow more and more disheartened with every passing season. The entire kingdom hoped he would soon find the happiness he so richly deserved. Then, one evening, a storm unlike any other descended upon the kingdom. The wind howled like a hungry wolf, and rain lashed against the castle's stone walls. Thunder boomed, shaking the very foundations, and lightning tore across the inky black sky. It was a dreadful night, a night when no one dared to venture outside. Suddenly, amidst the chaos of the storm, came a loud knocking at the castle gate. The old king himself went down to see who could possibly be out on such a terrible night. There, standing in the pouring rain, was a young woman. Water streamed from her hair and clothes, running in rivers from the tips of her shoes. She was a sorry sight, completely soaked and shivering from the cold. Yet she held her head high and said with a clear voice, "I am a real princess, seeking shelter from the storm." The old queen, who had followed the king, looked at her skeptically. "A real princess, you say?" She thought to herself, "Well, we'll soon find out about that." The queen, ever so clever, had a plan. A test, to be precise. She smiled warmly at the girl and said, "Of course, my dear. Come in and rest. We shall prepare a room for you." While the young woman was given warm clothes and a hot meal, the queen went to the guest bedroom. She took all the bedding off the bed, right down to the wooden frame. Then, right in the very middle, she placed a single, tiny, hard pea. Just one. After that, she ordered the servants to bring up 20 thick mattresses and stack them one on top of the other, right over the pea. And as if that wasn't enough, she had them place 20 of the softest, fluffiest eider-down feather beds on top of the mattresses. The bed was now a towering mountain of softness. The princess needed a ladder just to climb up to the top. She thanked the queen, settled in for the night, and tried to get some sleep. The next morning, the queen went to see her. "And how did you sleep, my dear?" she asked with a knowing look. The princess looked exhausted, with dark circles under her eyes. "Oh, terribly," she replied with a yawn. "I hardly closed my eyes all night. Goodness knows what was in that bed, but I felt like I was lying on something incredibly hard, and I'm black and blue all over. It was simply dreadful." At her words, the queen's face broke into a wide smile. The prince, who had been listening nearby, let out a cheer of pure joy. They knew, without a shadow of a doubt, that she must be a real princess. Because only a real princess, with skin so delicate and sensitive, could possibly feel one tiny pea through 20 mattresses and 20 featherbeds. The prince had finally found her. He took her hand, and soon after they were married in a ceremony celebrated throughout the land. And as for the pea, it was placed in a museum where you might still be able to see it today. A tiny reminder that true qualities, no matter how hidden, will always shine through. Thank you so much for watching with us today. If you enjoyed this classic tale, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss our next story. See you next time.